Hmm. There's just this feeling of loving you so much. And hey, Karen, are you still driving to Miami? Just had an amazing personal session with Karen, and I'm really happy you're here. I was just talking about how there's like this feeling of love, of loving the world, really, of loving, yeah, the birds. I'm actually in Pennsylvania today. The space of my upbringing. Look at these flowers. Look at the sky. Look at that bird bath. Hey Sylvia. Welcome, welcome. If you come in, if you could please share where you're viewing from today. Tell us where you're from. It's so beautiful to have this forum, this form of communication that we're able to share in. Bend, Oregon. You know, I have never been to Bend, Oregon, and I feel like I want to be to Bend, Oregon. I've been like so many places in America. I've traveled so many places in my car. Where are you from? Thailand? Is that Thai? Is that I think that's Thai. And I've never been to Bend, Oregon, because it's kind of like right in the middle of the state. And I hear really good things about it. I think I'd really appreciate it. Really appreciate smaller, kind of more open-minded, creative towns that are surrounded by nature. Is kind of my favorite place to get down. Let's see if we can walk a little bit. It might be too windy, but let's see if we can walk a little bit. If you can't hear me, just tell me you can't hear me. I'm not sure what I'll do about it, but anyway, I remember I was reading this book by Wayne Dyer way back when I first started my spiritual search. I was reading this book by Wayne Dyer, and he said that he was meeting with this couple in Hawaii, and they were running retreats and so forth, and he asked them about the secret of happiness. And they said the secret of happiness, they realized, is to not think about yourself. And that really struck me. Really struck a chord in me. And kind of stuck with me. And I've been feeling that truth in a deeper way, in a deeper and deeper way this past week. And the truth of that in a deeper and deeper way this past week. And the realization is that when we're looking for happiness, whatever that is, whatever we define that as, whatever we think that is, there's so many books on it, there's so many teachings, there's so many workshops, there's so many classes, there's so many retreats, there's so many Facebook live videos, right? And it's all focused on yourself. It's all reinforcing the sense of a separate self. This is how you can be happy. This is how you can find enlightenment. This is how you can find self-realization. This is how you can get this, attain this. This is how you can get more money. This is how you can get the right man. This is how you can get the right woman. This is how you can get a bigger house, get a new car. Get a better job. Work for yourself, right? So all these things have their place, but they're all focused around you. There's a self-centeredness that's there. It's a very American way of looking at things. America is very focused on the individual, and there's been a loss of a sense of community. And when you can recognize and realize, the further you embed the sense of yourself, the further you're isolating yourself, the further you're causing your own unhappiness, you're causing your own misery, you're causing your own sense of separation and isolation, and you're disconnecting from the whole, the more you become self-centered, right? So self-centeredness is really the essential cause of suffering, being caught in the ego, which is an illusionary sense of a separate self. So there's a saying we say sometimes, no self, no problem. No self, no problem. So when you awaken to realize the true essence of who you are, the true infinite essence of who you are, which is not the illusionary sense of a separate self, which is not identification and attachment to the story of you, there's a liberation that happens, there's an expansion that happens, there's an openness, there's a depth of peace, there's an empowerment, and there's an incredible sense of love that is realized. And the love is for everything. The love is for everything. The love is for what is arising right now. The love is the ability, the potentiality to love this, to love what's here, and to recognize that what you see, what you encounter, what you experience is a reflection of yourself, with a capital S, the self, not the story, not the illusionary sense of a separate self, but the true essence of who and what you are, of who and what we are. I was looking at in the mirror last night, and I was thinking, what was it like before the invention of the mirror, which wasn't that long ago? And I had this memory in the DNA of this time frame of before the mirror. We never saw the sense of this personal body, and we never had this fixation on this separate self. We were a tribal people, and there was this sense of what you were looking out at was you. Your tribe was you. Your family was you. Your forest was you. Right? That was you. You didn't have to look in the mirror to see yourself. You were seeing yourself everywhere you look. Everywhere you look is yourself. Right? Hey, Danielle. And that's the realization, this self-realization expands beyond the illusionary sense of a separate self. Can everybody hear me with the wind okay? Beyond the illusionary sense of a separate self to this expansion, this spiritual awakening where everything that you look at and see and touch and smell and experience is you. It's all you. There was a Zen monk once, and he said, if you want to know what the cause of suffering is, I'm paraphrasing here, if you want to know what the cause of suffering is, 99.9% of everything you think about revolves around you, and there isn't one. 99.9% of everything you think about revolves around you, and there isn't one. Done. Mic drop. Game over. When you recognize and realize the essence of who and what you truly are, that's the game changer. Right? And that's where we come into the space of altruism, which I've been feeling into more deeply this week, is the sense of when you really feel on a really intrinsic, heartfelt, tangible level that you are the world and the world is you. That everything that you're encountering, everyone that you're encountering, everything that you're perceiving is your mirror, is a reflection of you, is a reflection of who and what you are, then, and really only then, there's the capacity to love in the truest, deepest sense of the word. There's the capacity to love. There's the capacity for love. There's the capacity for purpose. There's the capacity for meaning. There's a sense of really wanting to give yourself to this world wholly, fully, and completely. In this moment. Right now. There's the sense of wanting to create something that brings a greater sense of love and understanding and compassion and peace and freedom and community and beauty and inspiration, empowerment to all you encounter, to all you come in contact with, as a reflection of yourself, as a reflection of yourself, as a reflection of who and what you are. When Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself, what was really being pointed to there is that your neighbor is yourself. You know, your neighbor is yourself. Friend, stranger, family, whoever, whatever is showing up unconditionally in this moment is a reflection of the one. And when we recognize and realize that on a deep level, there's this inspiration to transcend whatever limitations we feel that we have for the greater good of the whole. And then you know what it is to be alive. You know what it is to really, truly, deeply, fully live. To really, fully, truly, deeply live. To live on purpose. In a way that's fully alive and passionate, inspired for the greater good of the whole. The liberation of altruism. So when we fully, wholly, completely give ourselves to this world, We don't have to think about our tiny, measly little self anymore. And there's something about that that is liberating, that is freeing. The self-consciousness goes. The self-consciousness we're liberated from. No self, no problem. Does anyone have any questions or comments in this exact moment? Look at this amazing tree right here. And look, a little swing. When you're present, there's the space to stop and take in the beauty that's around you, and appreciation. And appreciation is one of the greatest, simplest ways to love someone or something. You know, to give your appreciation. It's so simple. You know, it doesn't cost anything. But to give your appreciation to your mother, your father, your daughter, your son, your brother, your sister, your wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend. Give your appreciation to your puppy, to your kitty, to your garden, to a tree, you know, to the clouds, to the sun rising in the morning, setting in the early evening, to the squirrels, to the singing birds. Appreciation, when we give our appreciation, which is really our attention, which is really our presence to something, we allow it to foster and grow just through that sense of appreciation, through that sense of gratitude, through that sense of love. I appreciate you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. See you in the next now.